Thank you for having me.
I didn't get to show you this. Check out that can label. Welcome into the Blitz Breakdown, presented by Blitzlytics.com, where scouting meets analytics and you meet the newest crop of off-field talent. I am showing Key Cities, our sponsor, Pumpkin Machine Imperial Pumpkin Ale. It is delicious. It is pumpkin pie and egg. Oh, look at you with your Mississippi Queen. Look at that.
This is the last of my Mississippi Queen.
Is it?
So reinforcements are being requested.
All right. And I still have a super for you. I saved you one super, which is the German Fest beer. I will hold on to it, and I will send resupply, or I will request resupply.
Perfect. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers, my dude. Hope you have having a good week. Congrats on your win. It seems like they almost got right.
Oh man, win's a win at this point, dude.
For sure.
Yeah, still a lot of work to be done. But overall, the NFL has just provided another week of just quality entertainment and storylines galore, and it's a good time to be alive.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. It was a rough week for me on multiple levels. 0-4 in fantasy. Lost Derrick Henry in like 3 or 4 leagues. Lost Aaron Rodgers in a couple leagues, which we'll get into. We're gonna use some code words in this podcast and this while on YouTube, because you know how YouTube be right now with trying to monitor what people say about this 91 Dovot. What do we call it? I don't know. You know Dovik, right?
Yeah, I'm calling it the Viddy.
The Viddy. All right, let's call it the Viddy. I like the Viddy. 91 Viddy.
It's good formation play.
Anyways, yeah, losing to Trevor Siemian was rough. I think New Orleans, especially, I feel like the team rallied behind watching Jameis Winston go down. That was rough to watch. Even as a Jameis like hater now, you know, the fact that he's not on my team, when I did buy the jersey his rookie year, and he did throw all those interceptions, but like, yeah, you don't ever want to see that.
You root for the guy. There's something about him that you want him to.
But I would like. I would like to state
there was those W's.
There was a flag on that play, and that was not a horse collar by any means. There was multiple flags thrown in that game that irked me. But the Bucs beat themselves, and I do think that if the Bucs are healthy, the only team that can beat themselves is the Bucs, and it shows from time to time that not everyone is Tom Brady. Not everyone could be, the greatest of all time and maintain composure. And even Brady loses composure from time to time. Like, all players do, but I don't know. You got to have ice in those veins. But I don't know. Every time the Bucs go into New Orleans, there's so much animosity and so much pressure and anxiety and stress. And I'm talking about just about me. I can only imagine for the team. But, yeah, all in all, though, just a heck of a week, man. You had Siemian winning. You know, Trevor Siemian making a comeback after a couple of years of not playing. You got Mike White coming in off of the bench, like in his first NFL start and just tearing it up, beating the number 1 team in the AFC at that point. Who else do you have? I mean, let's see.
But really, just with
Cooper
the Mike
Rush?
White situation, like, I want nothing more than quarterback drama in New York. Like, to have something worth monitoring in New York. And if, like, Mike White comes out and throws, like, let's 350. If he comes out and throws 350 this next week, and it's on Thursday night. It's on tomorrow night. And what does that do? Now, what does that do with the Zach Wilson talks? And he's got more moxie, and it was fun. Did you watch the Jets and Bengals game?
I mean, I had it on one TV, so I do that whole 4 TV setup. I've got the command center, as I call it, as you've got to see and witness before.
Oh, dude, for sure.
But it was nice, but man, like, that's what was something that we kind of all laughed at, is like, we here at Blitzlytics called this. We had we had a good grade, a solid grade on Mike White coming out. And I would like to just kind of dip in real quick and give a little
That was the
credit where
first year we
credit
were
is
there.
due. Yeah, we were at the Senior Bowl. You talked about him on our live podcast at the Senior Bowl, where we all crammed it. That was where we crammed in the attic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
that was a
crammed
cool
into
little
an
apartment
attic of
spot.
our Airbnb and gave one of the best podcasts, some of the worst audio, but one of the best podcasts we've ever done. But here, I want to throw this out there, and you can go on to blitzlytics.com right now and go find Mike White's scouting report. This is from our current director of scouting. At that time, he was a first-year scout with Blitzlytics. Now, again, Ryan Lippert, the director of scouting now. Here is the big picture. I can go deep into the entire report. I'd rather let you guys do that. But his big picture on Mike White. Mike White is a solid quarterback who suffers from very weak protection his senior year. He has all the intangibles you want as a passer and has shown the ability to make the big throws when you need them. I look for Mike White to be a mid-round pick, true, and be a solid backup to start off the league. If drafted in the right system with a solid offensive line, I could see Mike White being a player who develops into an eventual starter in the league. God damn. I mean, it's one game. Let's not get too crazy here.
Right. But it's fun.
It is.
And it's the first time anyone's having fun with the Jets in a while.
Right.
So, I mean, I said, let's let it ride. And he plays tomorrow night. So he'll get the national stage. And if he goes for another big game and they win again, in New York of all places, how do you get them to get behind Zach Wilson?
Oh, man, it's going to be so hard.
What does that become for a situation?
That's rough. I mean...
Right. So it's like, uh-oh. But
I don't know,
I'm
man.
here for it.
How do you say no to it? If he lights up, especially the Colts defense. The Colts defense is legit. Like, they're a top 5 fantasy they're like the number 3 fantasy defense. I know they're a top 5 defense overall. Like, if
they're a good hump team. Like, if the Jets if they could beat the Colts, that puts them in a different tier than we're used to putting the Jets in.
If the Jets go on a 2-game winning streak or like a 3-game winning streak, what do you do then? Like,
you can't sit them.
You can't. But you have to assume that like Zach Wilson's gonna get his spot back. Let me see what the Jets schedule's looking like. Because after the Colts, it's going to be the Bills. Yeah, no. I mean, if he does, that would be insane. But like then after that, you have
for football.
After that, it's Dolphins, it's Texans, it's Eagles. Those are all potentially winnable games. I mean, they have outside of the Bills and the Bucks, like they have a pretty easy schedule post that. You never know what could happen, but I don't want to spend an entire podcast on the Jets, but the one thing I will say is,
hey, if they're interesting, I'll talk about them, and I'm very interested in the Jets right now.
I'm interested in this QB situation, but you have to admit, like, coming from BYU, Zach Wilson was throwing up against defenses that are like Pac-12, Mountain West defenses, like terrible defenses. Like, they're not SEC defenses. Like, he's not shredding SEC defenses. He's not shredding ACC defenses, and he's damn sure has yet to shred. I mean, he looked good in preseason, but he's yet to have like a single staple win, staple victory, staple performance. And Mike White's already had one in his very first start. Right. So there's got to be some drama, but it doesn't matter for the Jets. If you find your guy, I don't care if you draft him in the first round. I don't care if you freaking found him on free agency or the waiver wire or anything like that. Like, a starter is a starter is a starter.
Who's the more tradable one?
Oh.
Like, if you were to bet right now, like, how this goes down. You think, we'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But
yeah.
Mike White has the opportunity to make this incredibly interesting. And that's the end. I'll say that's the last I'll say.
Again, big shout out and kudos to Ryan Lippert on that one. I want to read it. I haven't got to read the entire scouting report. And I think I will sit down and read it right before tomorrow night's game when I watch it. And be like, all right, let's see how spot on our boy is. Because Ryan is arguably the most knowledgeable scout we got. And I mean, yeah, I can't wait. But, I mean, there's a lot that went down this last weekend. again, like you said, your Chiefs struggled, but still got the win. A win's a win.
Wins win.
They were gonna have a big task ahead of them this weekend against Aaron Rodgers, but now they're gonna be facing Jordan Love, who was supposed to be the, junior version, the poor man version of Patrick Mahomes. So as excited as I was to see Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes, I may be even just as excited, or almost just as excited, maybe even a little more. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm still excited about this matchup. But now it's more on how good does Jordan Love do instead of can he beat KC.
I'm glad you went that way with it. I wasn't sure how you were going to take that, but I completely agree. I think this is a huge game for Jordan Love. Like, this is an indicator of how comfortably can you go into next year if you choose to not bring Aaron Rodgers back, or if you can't get him to stay, because you have pretty much hitched your future to Jordan Love otherwise. So here's the big test. I mean, the Chiefs' defense is exploitable, and as far as I know, he should be getting Devontae Adams back. So we're going to get a genuine look at what the Packers' offense is planning on looking like in the near future. So it'll be cool to get exposure towards that, and then also just to see what is Jordan Love made of finally. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm still pumped about it.
Yeah, same. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. It's gonna be a good test for Jordan Love, and it's gonna be a good future teller.
And the Chiefs just need to get back in the mode of just getting the job done and getting winning back instilled in it and getting momentum straightened up. But
hey, man, how about that in between the tackles runner by the name of Derrick Gore? I don't know. Somebody was like, man, they need like a power runner. They need somebody who can like actually just get first downs and not be shifty behind that offensive line and just north and south runner. And he looked pretty good.
Use that offensive line. Just use the offensive line. Just keep them moving forward and have a running back that can follow them and exploit the holes that are created. They're too good. They're too big. They're too strong to not create some sort of hole somewhere. And we just need a north and south runner, and that's what Derrick Gore provides. And I like Derrick. He had a really, really nice preseason, and I was surprised he just stayed on the practice squad. But it's hard to predict what Andy's going to do when it comes to the running game, because even though it was clear every time they got in the power formations, the I formations, the strong eye, just the overall running based offenses, they continued to march down the field. And that's what I was kind of alluding to last week when I was saying Andy just needs to kind of just let go of the reins a little bit and use it more as a motivating factor to say, like, I'm going to step away to get the team motivated behind them, but also create an open platform for them to change towards a more running game based offense, more play action where you can just utilize Travis Kelce as a delayed blocker and then release out into the flat, or Tyreek to go off of run. Just implement more play action with action. Right, going back to the foundation, but that's never been Andy Reid's game, and I think he's too old to change, and I don't know if he has it in him to keep that kind of scheme.
He did last week.
But he really didn't. Like, Derrick Gore didn't get, I guess he got like 3 touches in the second half. Like, they're weird. They're weird,
but they ran the ball like over 20 times though in the game.
Overall, with Darrell Williams, who's still is not good, and he's getting touches.
Yeah, again, they should have stuck with Derrick Gore, but it's nice to see them add at least the wrinkle of the basics. Like, it doesn't have to be the staple of their team or the staple of their play calling, but as long as it's
the Titans.
Exactly, as long as it's a wrinkle, like you said, having Travis Kelce stay in and block and then or a delay and then come out like a normal tight end, like doing some of those normal things, those
Mark
easy
Andrews shit.
Having it, like, making sure that they have, like, keeping the defense honest is what I'm trying to get at. Like, as long as you can keep the defense honest, and they did that very well. and I was excited. The Bucks, on the other hand, I think also need to take a little bit of that advice and like run, play action, set it up, like keep just chipping away. They get pass happy, I mean, and then places just kind of show their hand and show their cards when they get that excited about throwing the ball. Brady's been off a little bit. Like, I will say that. Brady this year has missed some wide open receivers. He has, and I mean, so is Patty, but like.
Getting old at 44?
No, I don't know if it's that. I think it's like, it's pressure, it's angst, It's not like he's not, it's not because of a lack of arm talent or a lack of strength, because like he'll miss the ball, he'll miss a throw on one, and then he'll make an amazing throw, like a few plays later. Like, the bomb to Mike Evans, like, I mean, there was a couple of them where it's like, damn, Brady's damn sure still got it, at least of arm strength. But I think sometimes, like, I don't know if he doesn't trust the offensive line, or if he's a little shaky, or if he just feels the pressure of repeating. But he definitely doesn't look like 100% comfortable in certain situations. Certain drives, he just kind of looks a little off. And maybe that's just a lot of quarterbacks, and I'm kind of overthinking it because it is the GOAT that is Brady. But I was just kind of like, man, if he would have made that throw. Man, if we wouldn't have that call. Man, if like one of these things just didn't happen, then the Bucks probably could have won that game. But they continuously shot themselves
in the foot. Any game
you'll
find those key moments that just didn't go the right way.
Yeah. But all in all, like you said, a hell of a weekend of football, man. It was so hard to like stay focused looking at this monitor and that monitor and this game, and it was just such good football. But to get into this week, and not to we kind of skipped over the Green Bay situation with
we take care of Sunday first, and then we can take care of Wednesday, which was the most like wild Wednesday I can remember in recent history.
Yeah, between trade deadline and the juggernaut that is the LA Rams, Aaron Rodgers coming down with the Viddy. What else you got? You got OBJ basically.
OBJ
now taking a leave of absence
with the team.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about OBJ. Like, we can work backwards because I do want to touch on the Rams situation, and obviously Viddy's. Did you watch OBJ Senior's video? Okay, but that's what started it all, right?
No, all I heard that his dad. I mean, I heard that there had been like rumblings and growing pain, like growing angst of OBJ like wanting to get traded or potentially getting traded. It didn't come, and then his dad makes some comment, like, and shit on Baker. That's all I know. And then there was 3 green check marks or green flags or whatever.
All right, so
please do tell.
Because I dove into it today, and oh boy, it was great. OBJ's dad, Senior, let's call him Senior, just went to bat for his son. And that was kind of his whole stance, was that he's just calling it like a father would. And he went on Instagram and posted a 10-minute long video of all 22 film. But, like, to the background music of Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. It was just hilarious to make me think, like, I was dying at that. But then it was also showing film. I was like, oh, my God. Like, OBJ's breaking dudes off consistently. He's got 10 minutes of footage of OBJ just being missed so far this season.
His dad's just
like,
going on
it goes through each
clipping.
game for 10 minutes, and it's just pettiness. But that turned into him becoming like an absolute toxic background, and it sucks because I don't think he's necessarily maybe he is. I don't know, because now it's talking about how Baker hasn't heard anything from OBJ. Like, he never mentioned this at all. He never mentioned that like this was a problem.
Whoa! Shouldn't that be the coach's job? Like, let's clear this. Don't we all watch film together? Like, shouldn't the quarterback's coach, the head coach, whoever's got the clicker in the offensive team meeting being like, hey, Baker, he's wide open right here.
What's going on?
Yeah, like, when he makes this curl route against this coverage, he should be open. Hey, look he's wide open. Like, that should be, like, OBJ shouldn't have to go to him and be like, hey, I was wide open on this play. Like, Terrell Owens did that and was a bad teammate.
But the fact that that's even the case and that they don't even have, like, an open communication patterns, it seems, is like, this is done. He's gone. Like, he's about to get released. We're probably going to wake up to tomorrow morning and OBJ is going to be released. Just like, that's just how this is going to have to go. Because you can't trade him. They would have traded him over the weekend. But that's what's so weird is how it escalated so quickly. Like,
I mean, how could you not trade him? Like, he's not worth a sit. Like, nobody wanted OBJ.
Nobody wants that contract. He's still got an albatross of a contract. And if it's as toxic as, I guess, word maybe could get out of, well, now especially with.
Oh, it's out now, but it's like.
It was weird. I
don't know. There's got to be some coaches going like, well, Daddy's got a point. I mean, Baker isn't hitting his wide receivers. No. Like,
I implore you to actually go watch Senior's video because it's very well delivered in the sense of like.
Okay. That makes
What's
sense.
that?
I didn't know what you meant by Senior's video, but yeah, I do know his dad posted
Daddy Odell.
Yeah, Daddy Odell.
But he actually, like, I watched the video and now I'm trying to acquire OBJ in fantasy leagues because I think he's going to blow it up whenever he does go to a team that will utilize his talents. And I'll just say it now. I think it's going to be the Rams. I think he gets cut, and then the Rams are going to pick him up, and it's going to make me cry. I'm going to cry, Jack. And
dude, I will too. And they're not even in your division or your conference. Like, I'm so upset. The Rams scared me more than any other team. I know the Saints are there right now, but I'm not afraid of them with Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian to make a push. I really don't give a damn. Like, I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see them in Tampa. Oh, I can't wait to see you guys in Tampa Bay. Oh, I talked way too much trash before that game. I should have kept my mouth shut. I mean, he's really only, it's not that bad. 15.7, 15, 15. Like, those are the cap hits in the next 2 years. That's a super discount because they
15?
loaded. 15 right now.
He's not producing at a $15 million level. And there aren't many teams Baker right now willing to trade.
Would he be, though, if Baker was actually hitting that? And then who's to say that they don't eat that money? Who's to say they don't eat half of it? Right, even half of it. Get a 6th-round pick for if you cut him tomorrow, you're still going to have to pay that. So all I'm saying is that's bad management. That is bad team management.
Yeah,
that is bad. That's a bad business deal. If you know this is going to happen and you're not getting anything out of OBJ, you might as well cut him or you might as well trade him. But yeah, I don't think there's any way he can step back on the field after that.
And I guess it looks like the front office agrees because they pulled him off the field. That he was going out like he was just going to practice, and this is an organizational choice. And he's gone, and I think I think he goes to LA, blows it up in LA, and I mean, speaking of blows it up in LA, like I don't think they have a pick until like the 5th round this year.
Yeah,
like
they're going all in.
It's wonderful. I love that a team is doing this and just going for broke, because in 3 years, I don't know what this team looks like. Like, once Aaron Donald, who's still going to be an all-pro, but not generational pass
that's
rusher.
the thing. Like, let's not act like Von Miller has been Von Miller this year.
Right.
Like,
you cannot depend on him to be. He's like what DeMarcus Ware was when he went to the Broncos originally.
But I bet you Von Miller will look like Von Miller when Von Miller is lined up next to Aaron Donald. Like,
right.
That is going to be a thing. But we haven't even talked about like this historic, epic run that Cooper Kupp is on right now. Like, on pace to beat Megatron's record. Through 8 games, 63 receptions, 924 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's a good season for most players. That's a Pro Bowl caliber season. If you get 10 touchdowns in a season, if you get 900, 1,000 yards as a receiver, that's a good season. A lot of receivers have been to the Pro Bowl on that stat line. The motherfucker is only halfway through the season.
Bad dude.
The Great White Hope,
Real
bro.
bad dude.
It's
I liked him a lot coming out of college because he was a punt returner, and that really blew me away. And I was like, and he was fast, and he was good in college, and I don't know. I've just always been a fan of the guy.
Eastern Washington, bro.
Oh,
Freaking crazy.
I always liked his game, and so does Sean McVay, and they're just using him in all these different like they're lining up in the backfield and doing like angle routes out against linebackers. They're just playing chess while everybody else is doing checkers, and they're going all in, dude. Like this, it's really cool to see a hyper ultra aggressive team, because I consider the Chiefs a pretty hyper aggressive team in terms of their moves. I mean, they went out and got Melvin Ingram as a pass rusher, which tight. Like I said, I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago. I said we needed Terrell Suggs pickup, and that's literally exactly what he is at this point, I feel like.
But I mean, but Melvin Ingram was doing really good for the Steelers.
Fine.
Like,
good.
You guys needed that. That was a huge
passable edge rusher. And now Chris Jones just stays inside, and he was blowing shit up this game, and he has been all year as long as he's inside. And yeah, we were exposing ourselves by going it that way, and we'll see what changes are made. But yeah, I digress. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that was nuts. I don't think there's any way. Well, why? You have Robert Woods, you have Cooper Kupp, you have Van Jefferson. I don't think there's any way that they go get OBJ or that they can bring in OBJ. I don't know. Maybe he signs a $1.
I think OBJ would just be everything they wanted Deshaun Jackson to be, just like that get open downfield guy. And I think that's what he can do.
OBJ is so much more than just the downfield guy, though.
If I'm OBJ, you're going for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
And
you're going to catch balls and win games. And I mean, they're winning games in Cleveland, but he's not catching balls. Like, he's just not even being used. It's just crazy. Like, people would give up. You know, you're going to give up a first-round pick for somebody that you're not even going to use whatsoever. You know,
he needs to go somewhere where he's single covered and he can someone can get the ball to him.
So yeah, like that's why I'm wondering, like, your guy, like, if there is a weakness in KC right now on the offense, to me it's been the pass catchers. It's been the wide receivers. The wide receivers have let Patty down. Like,
yeah, Josh Gordon is not.
That interception went through Josh Gordon's hands and hit freaking Jerry McKinnon in the face.
It's weird, dude. Like, it's weird.
I knew you had to have been so mad when you seen that. Oh my god, I could feel your blood boiling from here.
It's not even mad. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how is this continually happening game after game? And I can only blame coaching and motivation and just execution. But yeah, I want to stick to the overall point. I think OBJ would be an absolute game changer for the Chiefs. But if I'm thinking in OBJ's like head and like what he's trying to achieve, he wants to go somewhere where he's going to blow up for his brand, his notoriety. He's going to need to go somewhere where he's able to show off and make great plays and like rebuild his value and what he brings to the table and show that he's still OBJ. But he can't go somewhere where he's the number one. He needs to go somewhere the same way that Antonio Brown went to the Bucs and said, like, I can just expose one-on-one coverage consistently and just be a part of something. And I would really, really like it to be the Chiefs because I think it would be an awesome fit. But if I was to bet anyone right now, I'm thinking it's the Rams. I just think McVay would love the opportunity just to throw another just game breaker into the offense. I
think it's Green
Bay.
Bay.
I don't see why the general manager wouldn't.
I think it's Green Bay. I think if you add Devontae Adams, I think they're the only team right now sitting out there that needs a number 2 wide receiver. Devontae Adams, no matter what, clear-cut number 1, favorite target. Robert Tonyan's down now for the year. He was a valuable piece in that offense. What is it? Like, is Alan Zard or you know, I mean, like, they don't have enough.
How about this one? How about the Saints?
But with who throwing to them? Like, it ain't
I mean,
Jameis.
if you don't have anybody throwing, you might as well give more people to throw them at.
I guess, but like they're as cap strapped as any team right now. Like they were the worst team coming in.
Like he's gonna have to take a veteran minimum, but I think he will based on like
Yeah,
how he
he's
gets out
already.
of
Yeah,
this
again,
deal.
this year
Like,
if he
can
gets
you
cut.
really sacrifice 15 mil, dog? Like, if you're trying to rebuild your legacy
Again,
type shit.
how petty if you're the Browns? How petty do you want to be? See, if you have to pay him anyways, why are you gonna let him?
I think he gets cut soon. Like, I think he gets cut as soon as tomorrow.
Do you think so? I mean, I
think
would
you
not.
have to. I think you have to just
I
get rid
would
of it.
not be surprised, but
Otherwise, you're just putting him back in the locker room and be like, all right, go make up.
Well, no, you could literally just tell him to go home.
Like, in just the Deshaun Watson approach. No,
yeah.
you can't be around. Deshaun Watson's like you have to be around the players still. Like, you just can't leave. Why would you? What's the benefit of just having him not report?
Because you're being petty. Like, I'm not saying I like it, but I'm just saying, like, if you can, a team can suspend a player. Teams have that right. Like,
but to what gain? Like, you're putting him in timeout and say, like, when he comes out, be like, he'll ready to report. Like, I think they're just gonna rip the Band-Aid off.
It might be for the best, but
on the fucking Rams.
Let's go down the list. Like, he's not going to Dallas. They got 3 wide receivers. He's not going to Philadelphia because they ain't got a quarterback. He's not going to Washington because they ain't got a quarterback. I mean, I like Heineke.
No, only go to the contenders.
Yeah, Green Bay.
I can see that, but I don't see Green Bay. I don't trust their front office.
I just feel like, why would... I mean, their front office would be silly not to kick the tires on that because you're trying to do everything you can to keep Rodgers happy and keep him there for another year, right? I mean, unless Jordan Love balls out this Sunday, which he might. I would. I mean, if Daniel Jones looked good and put up some fantasy numbers against that team, I could see Jordan Love doing it. But I don't know. Rams have 3 quality wide receivers. I don't think they need OBJ. I could see McVay doing it though.
I could see the Rams doing it. I think they're clearly not thinking down the road. They're thinking of how can we bring in as much talent in as now as possible. And Odell Beckham comes into the free agency market. They absolutely have to go full speed ahead and say we got to throw whatever we can to get him there. But it makes the most sense for him too. Like, I mean, playing in LA in his brand resurgence project, like, it just makes sense. They're in the fast track towards the championship, and that at the end of the day would be best for them.
Think about that. They bring in,
and then he goes into free agency next year, and then he, I don't know, plays for the Lions. Yeah, I don't think so.
Have you seen? Like, think about that right now. Look at how bad Jared Goff looks at the Lions. Like, look how bad just the Detroit Lions look. Think of how much better they would look if they had Stafford. Stafford would have won some of them games.
I mean, they'd still at the end of the day be like a 6-12 team.
Oh though. Yeah, but they're on the verge of being the first 0-17 team in NFL history. Like, and they've been really close to winning games, but I'm just.
I think they'll win one. I think
so too, but
I think they'll win 2. I don't know which ones though.
I hope so for MCDC's sake, because I can't see him cry anymore. It breaks my heart.
Right?
Breaks my heart. Just not a fan of that.
No, I think they'll make it happen. They'll make it happen.
Well, that's what's crazy is they just signed Robert Woods to a 4-year, $65 million deal. So they go
and they're gonna have to pay Cup pretty soon.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have to pay Cup this next year.
Right, but nothing. Higher tides raises all boats. Like, if they just win, everybody wins.
Like, oh no! So they signed Cooper Kupp to a 3-year, $47 million deal.
Cooper.
Yeah, that boy messed up. They are getting him right now. He is only in 2021. He is only a $5.3 million cap hit. Next year it gets bumped up to 2018, or to 2018 to 18.3. In 2023 it's 18, and then voidable years again. Yeah, they signed voidable years and stuff like that. So he'll end up making about 16 million a year. But damn, again, you don't know what kind of wide receiver you are until you have a good quarterback.
True.
Just it makes Jared Goff look like such shit. It makes Sean McVay look so damn good. That's what I'll say about that. All right.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get this one out here. I feel like I've said it before, but I think Sean McVay leaves for TV in like the next 3 years.
For what?
Leaves for TV, like to go be a TV
Oh,
personality.
TV. They said TB. I was like, nah.
No,
they can keep him. I don't want him.
Like
I like McVay.
the way
He's a really
Gruden,
nice guy.
the way Gruden left and just went and did broadcast.
Nah, see, I don't.
I just want that out there. I just want to let it be known that that's what I think is going to happen, because I think he loves that life, and I think he wants to be more of the LA celebrity posh lifestyle, and it fits perfectly with how LA is approaching this team building. And it's like, let's go for this window. Let's get the most we can out of Aaron Donald. Let's get the most out we can out of Jalen Ramsey, and now Von Miller. I think they're the king as of right now. I think they wear the crown until someone knocks them off.
I don't know. The Rams scare me more than any other team right now. Like I'm not too worried about the Cardinals. I feel like that is a lot of
Kyler's getting broken down a little bit.
Yeah, that knee or ankle did not look good in that last game when he went down.
18 games is a lot of games.
It's a lot of games to be doing that.
Yeah.
That was did we talk about that game
Which
last
one?
week? The Green Bay and Arizona game? Or that was Thursday night? Yeah, so we didn't even talk about that. That was this last week. Yeah, Green Bay without Devontae Adams in Arizona on Thursday night. Damn, was that not a game?
Yeah, Rodgers came in and did his thing. I love the guy, man. Like, I can't tell you another player who's had such like a stock rise in my interest in them in like one season then. And I already really, really appreciated, respected, and was grateful for what Aaron Rodgers provided as a football player for the Green Bay Packers for as long as he has been. But like it's been a blast just following like what he's done this year from the very jump of missing training camp to go be in Cancun with Miles Teller and his girl. It just to watch him float through it all and do his whole thing with Pat, and like how he's practicing all the stoicism and mindfulness, and just to see him just kind of open up and evolve as a character. And now he's gonna miss the game against the Chiefs and improve our chances of winning. So it feels like it was a personal gift to me. But all in all,
him getting Viddy was a gift. What a guy! What a guy!
Oh, my man, Viddy.
Oh man!
But
so yeah, what do you in terms of the Viddy topic that we are going to dance around like two little fairies?
Tiptoe.
You know,
just ballet.
Two little ballet. We're just gonna tiptoe around this ever so slightly, so that the
we stay.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't go down anymore in terms of our viewership, because the second we started talking about that in the very first podcast, so at least we're still good on like Spotify and SoundCloud and iTunes, everything else. But yeah, something happened with YouTube. I don't know. Anyways, to get into it, so he didn't get the stabby stab in the arm, and he played it off saying that what did he say? What was the
immunized?
He got immunized, which everybody just assumed meant
Right, just
he
went
got
ahead and just went
vaxxed.
with the words. She'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's doing horse tranquilizer." And
Yeah.
it's like, dude, can we just at least hear him out? Like, can we be curious instead of
Well, when
judgmental and just see what's going on?
he said that at the beginning of the year, and so everyone assumed that that meant he got vaxxed. Like, he is a
Easy.
very smart. That is a man playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers in the media. He's like, I'm gonna say this word. Nobody's gonna think twice.
He's spent a career building around not
He's
saying things he doesn't want to say to the media.
yeah,
Like,
and
I'm
then
not surprised by that.
I can't wait. I again, he was on Pat
He's not
McAfee's
the only
show.
one.
He's on
I
Pat
bet
McAfee's
you. I
show
bet
this
you.
Tuesday, this week.
I bet you people start going back and listening to other answers, and I promise you, other people said
Well, you
immunized.
can tell by who's wearing masks, like at press conferences and stuff like that. Like they say Lamar Jackson isn't vaxxed. There's quite a few like predominant players that aren't. And I know we talked about this in the episode that got us in a shit ton of trouble.
Yeah, about to say easy, brother.
Yeah, I know. Stabby stab. Uh, but yeah, there's gonna be a ton of players that come out, when this is all over, and we find out that all of that did not happen. And from what I heard, Devontae Adams didn't either. They didn't make a big deal out of it, but yeah, apparently Devontae Adams wasn't stabby stabbed either, or however you want to put it. So
Yeah, and again, I think more players are in this situation than we, really expect. But the NFL did a good job of making a big deal about it at first, and then you really haven't heard much about it for the past, few weeks, and everything was kind of going business as usual. And then this popped up, and now everyone's inflamed again, and now everyone wants to hyper focus on it. And if you go looking for something, you're going to find it, and they're going to go back on the games and see what protocols were breached during the games, and how was Rodgers maintained the way that protocols say they should. And they're going to say they didn't, and then they're going to get penalized. And then once they get penalized, like, who else is going to get penalized? Like, now there's an oversight committee for all these teams, and now everybody's going to – it creates ripples that makes me very intrigued as a Chiefs fan who sees my Super Bowl championship starting to dwindle a little bit. So I might as well just enjoy seeing everything burn. I would like to see the whole house of cards just kind of crumble.
Easy.
And just really get everyone just focused on, like, okay, who else didn't follow the rules? And RIP Houston Astros, but like, if we're gonna call out one team, we gotta call out all these teams, no? But
oh yeah,
all that to say, it's Aaron Rodgers is my Colin Kaepernick pick, and I think he's gonna come out here, and I think he's gonna lead the charge. He's gonna lead the charge.
I don't think he's gonna.
Ways.
I think
through the platform of Pat McAfee.
Exactly,
and it's gonna be must-see pod every Tuesday.
I don't think he is going to lead anything. I just think that his words will speak for themselves,
right?
And lead.
He's not gonna, he's not gonna create anything. He's just gonna speak his mind in a leadership way.
Yep, in a very educated, sophisticated manner, to where it's gonna be very, very hard for anyone to pick him apart. Like, and again,
Pat and the boys are gonna love it, and Pat and the boys are gonna ride for him. It's gonna be interesting. You can already see how Pat's responding to it. Like, he's like, I don't know what to do here. Like, I don't know how to respond here.
He did. He had to bite his tongue so bad.
What an NFL season, man!
I know.
Like, this is more fun. And the Chiefs the Chiefs are very much so underwhelming. But I'm having an absolute blast watching the NFL this season.
Good games, good matchups this weekend too. Quite a few divisional matchups. I'm looking forward to it. But
it'll be a good one, homie. Any game of the weeks?
Well, it definitely was. I want to say it still is Green Bay KC. Like, I'm not gonna to get off that yet, because I think the Bucs are playing. Who the Bucs play? I think the Bucs play Washington this week. Yeah, I'm not too worried.
I'm actually really I tomorrow night, Jets Colts. That's must-see TV for me. I can't wait to watch Mike White.
Mike White, yeah. Mike White is must-see TV for sure.
And if Corey Davis comes back, that's just another weapon for him to, like, he's either going to completely fold. And the Colts, I mean, they're an average defense. I'd even put them a little bit more below average. So, I mean, it's a good test for a Jets quarterback. And if they get a winning streak, oh, man. Like, I can't. Oh, I want to eat up those storylines. Like, that's perfect for me.
Bucks trying to buy this week. They which is a good thing because that means they'll likely get Sherm back off the bye. They're gonna get Scotty Miller back. They're gonna get Sean Murphy Bunting back. Carlton Davis will be following up after that. Then the Bucks are gonna be at full strength, and then I want to see what people got to say after that. But until then, yeah.
I'd agree. I would say the Chiefs and Packers are going to have to be the game of the week.
Yeah, there really isn't actually a whole lot of games to look forward to this week. I mean, there's some decent ones.
Texans Dolphins.
Yeah. I think Tua,
number one overall
Tua
race?
is going to shred the
right?
Texans. I think Tua is pissed. Tua is mad
over
that they
under 300 passing yards from Tua.
Over. I think him and Devontae Parker
over?
are gonna. Yeah, I'm saying over. I think Tua's gonna shred it.
What about 325?
Huh?
Over under 325.
Oof. I'm saying like just over 300. I'm gonna say it's like
okay. In that range.
310.
300, 325.
Between 300, 325.
I'll give you that.
Three touchdowns, maybe two in the air, one rushing. He's gonna have a breakout game because the Texans secondary isn't a whole lot to talk about. They've got some good veterans in there, but like I think this is a non-revenge game. This is I think this can be a pissed off Tua. Because when they asked him like about getting traded and the Texans, and he's like, well, they're like, are you offended or like does it hurt? And he's like, it doesn't not hurt. Like
right.
I don't want to hear about this. Like who wants to hear about the rumors of me being traded?
Y'all are the only ones talking about it.
Yeah.
Just the media members.
Exactly. Like Brian Flores has ridden for Tua this entire time. It's been the GM. It's been the ownership. Like those have been the ones that have been like, I don't know about Tua just yet, but we definitely know that Deshaun Watson is what he's supposed to be, and he's an amazing quarterback. He may not be the greatest person. He may or may not be the greatest person. He may be able to play. He may not be able to play, and that's why I was right. I knew he wasn't getting traded. I was right.
It doesn't look good for his prospects.
I said it, that he wasn't getting traded this year. I said he wasn't getting traded at the trade deadline. There is too much baggage with that. There's not enough language and legality, like legal stipulations that can be written into that contract for him, for a team to feel comfortable trading for him right now, because he could serve a lot of time in prison. He could serve no time in prison. Like this could get ugly quick if more things start to come out. But the fact that it's a civil lawsuit, all of this is staying private, the lawyer looks like an asshole. Like this is all looking fishy. The FBI is now investigating it's not bribery. What is the extortion? That's I was trying to use that earlier today.
Yeah.
Extortion.
We'll see how it all plays out, but at the end of the day, it's a tricky situation in Miami now because of how it all played out and like the lack of confidence in Tua. Publicly, at least. And I like Brian Flores. I really do. But at this point, how confident are you that he's the coach next year?
I would say yeah. I don't think he's on the hot seat this year.
You think he is the coach next year?
Yeah. I think they give him
more. I hope
more.
so.
Well, like, look at it. I mean, do you really think that there's going to be somebody better than Brian Flores? Like, yeah, the team isn't great. Yeah, the offense, like, I think you fire the GM before you fire the coach.
I agree.
Because they have not built an offense. They have not built. They drafted Austin Jackson the first goddamn round. They took freaking Ogumawale in the first round. Like, kiss my ass if you're gonna say that Brian Flores is the problem there. Kiss my ass if you're gonna say Tua Tagovailoa is the problem there. Just yet, give it another year or two. Let this man at least go through his rookie contract. If nobody's shitting on Daniel Jones just yet, or like was giving Daniel Jones a chance into this year, like. Please, for the love of God, give a quarterback who came off a serious hip injury and then another injury, like a little bit of time to develop, he does throw the ball very, very pretty. He doesn't have the
He floats it.
like it's like what are they gonna do? And they're not gonna draft another quarterback next year. It was either Deshaun Watson or bust, and it's gonna be a non-convicted Deshaun Watson or bust, not
Right.
a convicted Deshaun Watson, because then that's worse than having Tua Tagovailoa. Then the Texans get a quarterback and 3 first-round draft picks, and Miami gets nothing, at least for a year or two. So like.
Yeah.
Then they probably will fire Brian Flores. And then it's a complete reset, but at least you have Deshaun Watson. Oh, wait, but then you don't have any first-round picks to actually rebuild the team.
Yeah. And honestly, like, let's say they did
That's
trade for Deshaun Watson this Sunday, and the legality of the situation allowed him to actually play out this season. When would it be worth it to play Deshaun Watson if you're the Miami Dolphins, who are now sitting at 1-7? Like, do you just sit him for the rest of the year?
It's not like you're gonna. Yeah, I mean.
And if that's the case, why even acquire him?
Yeah, why acquire him right now? At least see what you got with Tua.
Right.
Keep seeing.
See
At
what
least if you
there.
can build. If you are hell bent on trading for Deshaun Watson, then at least try to rise to a stock so that maybe you have to trade two 1s and a 2 and Tua. Like, instead of 3 1s. Maybe
Per
2.
usual, this is only an issue because the media made it an issue.
Yeah, because they'd have nothing else to talk
From
about.
all signs, nothing actually really was that close to being created, besides some tweets that got piggybacked by other tweeters and other team reporters and just people trying to get clout. And it just sucks because I really feel that Tua got publicly attacked, that he didn't deserve that. Like, he didn't deserve
He's a nice guy, man.
the public to come out and just shit on him, say the team doesn't want him. And now he's being put on the trading block for a potential 3-team trade. But, none of these teams want him because they think he's shit. And, like, there was that whole, like, cycle going through for a week. And it was just, it was dirty. It just felt slimy.
And he's played well. Like, he has not played bad.
Yeah, I mean,
if Jared Goff could take a team to the Super Bowl, like, if all these other
he's no worse than what Goff was at that point, I would
quarterbacks
say.
On rookie contracts can still be playing, if Mike White is getting this freaking praise, like,
Tua in New York would be
chill out, bro. Again,
I don't see how it would happen, but I would like that.
One game I am looking forward to, actually, and I would be looking forward to it even more if Derrick Henry was going to be playing, but Titans and Rams, because I do want to see Von Miller wearing that number 40 in a ugly-ass Rams uni.
He'll probably only get, 15, 20 snaps?
Who? Oh,
Vaughn?
I don't know. I mean, just
rush
the passer. That's all you got to do. I don't know. I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if they keep him on a pitching count all regular season and just get him look, we're already good. We'll make the playoffs. Just be ready to go balls to the wall playoffs. Kind of gradually bringing him up snap count wise.
I could see that.
Because he's older now. He's older now, and he's more fragile than people like to admit.
But on the other side,
he's a difference maker.
They signed AP. They've already brought him up from the practice. They're going to bring him up from the practice squad. You have Jeremy McNichols. You have Deontay Foreman. Tell me that, and where was it? Was it with Washington? Yeah, it was with Washington last year, where AP went off for 2 or 3 games. And he's done this a couple times now, late into his 30s. Do you not just feed the dog shit out of AP and see if that old man can carry the workload? Because is he still not Derrick Henry more than any of those other running backs, and could still produce a couple times? I'm sure if you fed him the ball 20 times for 2 or 3 games, he'd probably get hurt, especially going no contact. But if anybody could do it, it's AP.
What would you say for the rest of his year his longest run will be? And is it over or under 16?
16 or 60?
16.
Oh, it's over 16.
Yard run?
It's over 16. The way they run the ball.
I don't think he has it.
He had it last year.
I'm gonna say okay, maybe 21.
I think he goes
Jamie.
for at
What
least.
we got, Jamie?
I think he goes at least for 35.
I don't think he's got the juice in him anymore.
I
I
think
mean, I
the way
understand
I don't
that
think he
the
needs the
running
juice. I don't
style
think he
might be
needs the
similar.
juice.
I think Derrick
We're going
Henry's
to
an
game
absolute
logs.
historical outlier, and
No,
it's
I
going
think
to be very
Adrian
difficult.
Peterson was the historical outlier way before Derrick
7 years
Henry
ago.
was. But he did it last year. He literally
What
did
did
it
he
a
do
year
last
ago.
year? All right, what was Adrian Peterson's? I'll buy it.
All right, so last year, regular season, he was on.
A 38-yard run.
I guess it
And
was 2020.
the only
Yeah, 2020 last year. Sorry, I'm getting all confused. All right,
I
so
almost nailed
he went 7 for 63 and a touchdown in week one. And then he had his carries reduced. He went 16 for 57, 2 tutties, 15 for 55, 2 tutties, 11 for 29, 15 for 40, 11 36, 22 for 75, like 14 for 93. Those are still pretty much workhorse numbers. Obviously, again, let's paint the picture that it was with the football team, but I think Adrian Peterson. I picked him up in a league or two.
If Adrian Peterson could come off the street
you
produce
don't think he's better than
RB2,
Jeremy McNichols?
I do, but I don't think that running back production is predetermined just based on opportunity. Like, I think Derrick Henry is still a much better player than Adrian Peterson is
I'm not
at this
saying
point.
he's gonna put up
And you're
those
not going to
numbers.
see that much production. Like, he can get 18 carries and probably get 74 yards.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, is that still a good running back?
I still think
I don't
there's
think
a reason why they signed him. It's because he runs like Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
now.
He provides a purpose.
He's not shifty. He's not anything special, but he can pass block. He can go down. He's a downhill runner right now at 36 freaking years old. I still think that he can perform. It ain't gonna be much, but I mean, last year 156 carries, 600 yards, 3.9 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's just under 4 yards a carry.
Back.
If you get 4 yards a carry in the NFL, you're a quality NFL back. And Jeremy McNichols is not that.
He's a faster Jordan Howard.
Yeah, I like that. Because I'll give Jordan Howard the ball all day. Like, if you don't have Miles Sanders, like bringing Jordan Howard in.
2 on the 2, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to it. I guess I'm more just excited because I like AP. I'm a big AP fan. I have been for a long time.
Yeah,
I still owe that man $20 technically. Did I ever tell you that story? My cousin took Adrian's notes back at OU, for him in college, and she told me like she was gonna call him. She's gonna call me one day when she was sitting there with Adrian, and she did. And I'm a Longhorns fan, like diehard Longhorns fan, and so it was the weekend of the Red River rivalry. So I get a phone call, and I'm like, I'm super young. I'm maybe like I think I'm 16, maybe, and he's all bet. Like, what? He's like, what you gonna do? And I was like, my Texas Longhorns gonna beat you. And I was like, I'll bet you a signed jersey I think he said signed jersey. I ended up getting a shirt. Still, nice. I still got a signed shirt from my cousin gave it to me. I don't have it now. I ended up getting snagged in college. I was pretty pissed off about it. Yeah, womp womp womp. But I ended up getting a jersey or a shirt from it. And it was just kind of cool because he's like, I bet you 20. He's like, I'll bet you $20 that I run all over that. And I was like, oh yeah, I bet you a signed shirt or a signed jersey. You ain't gonna do shit against my Tech. He went for like 250 yards, like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like he murdered the Texas. Like it was so bad. And I never paid up because I was like.
And now we get to watch him play football again this Sunday. Probably he'll get some snaps this Sunday.
I'm looking forward to it just because I do not have much of any faith I like Deontay Foreman coming out. Again, Texas, kind of hard not to. But those knee injuries kind of have racked up. So I'm looking for somebody in that offense who will fill the shoes of the Derrick Henry role. And it's either going to be either two of those. It is not going to be Jeremy McNichols. Jeremy McNichols is going to be a third down back, maybe a little extra, a little more than that. But like he is a receiving type. He is not a between the tackles type. He's not going to provide the Derrick Henry thumper type that offense needs because they're not going to scrap 2/3 of their fucking playbook.
I think they're going to have to. Their personnel doesn't match. Their personnel doesn't match the playbook.
Just because you lose one player, you're going to choose. You're going to change up your entire. I know.
The most valuable player in the league this year.
Tell me that is the only reason why they signed Adrian Peterson, though, right? Because he fits that mold.
You need a power running back. Yeah.
You need a power running back, and Deontay Foreman and Adrian Peterson are those two types.
Yeah.
And if this would have,
if
this would have happened a week ago,
if
this would have happened a week earlier, I think they would have been able to make a move for another running back. But
yeah, I mean, they can still get Darius Geis. I think Darius Geis is probably their closest comparable that you're going to find.
I don't think he's going to ever play football again.
Yeah, probably not.
I think he's done.
Womp womp.
Do we want to talk about that? Speaking of done in the NFL, or do we want to not even touch on
who, Darius Geis?
No, the Ruggs.
Oh, no. RIP to those affected and
yeah.
Uber home.
Yeah, Uber, please do not get behind the wheel. It's sad on multiple levels, let's put it that way. But obviously, we won't need to talk about anything but sorry to happen about what the victims, but yeah.
T's and P's.
Yep.
All good?
Yeah, I think that wraps it up. I hate to do it on a sad note like that, but
hey, go Chiefs,
Go Bucks in the bye week.
Yeah.
After this last week, dude, I feel like I need a bye week. My heart needs to rest a little bit. So I'm kind of happy that we're gonna get a nice little break, get healthy.
That's when everything turned around for you last year.
Yeah, so. This is the best. That's why I'm never been more excited for a bye week in my life.
God, I do nasty things for a bye week right now. Chiefs would love just a week of rest.
Yeah.
Hey, never mind. We don't have to do this now.
What?
Get ready for Brittany and Jackson Mahomes backlash. I think that sentiment's going to start to grow. Patrick still continues to struggle. It's their fault. They suck. They suck, and he can't go when he goes home after being, the most important player in the entire NFL, and he goes home and he can't get any goddamn peace and quiet because Jackson's doing TikToks in the kitchen. Who he doesn't even live here. You just go home, Jackson. And then you have Brittany.
I don't even know who Jackson. Who is Jackson? Is that his dad, or is that his
his brother? It's the brother who does the dances and the TikToks. He's become a nuisance in Chiefs Kingdom, and if struggles continue,
it seems like Chiefs Kingdom's been getting rid of those nuisances.
Yes.
Was that drunk ass crackhead fan of your guys's?
X Factor. X Factor's been needing to get knocked out for a minute. He was all of Chiefs was thank God. He's deserved this for years.
Yeah, that's nice when you see somebody get banned that needs to actually get banned, and that is not a good representation of Chiefs Kingdom, that's for sure.
Unfortunately, that was better.
Oh my Lord. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Breakdown. Something about Blitzlytics.com, where scouting meets analytics and you meet the newest crop of off-field talent. Shout out to our sponsors, Key City Brewing. Where is it? Drink, Rebel, Repeat. Yeah, dude, this thing is awesome. I feel like a basic white girl. I feel like a basic white girl right now pulling in to get my pumpkin spice latte. Except this thing's a 9%er, and
9? Yeah, you're gonna.
It's an imperial. It's an
You have to
imperial
send me some
ale.
teams. Send me
All
some
right.
teams.
All right, I got you.
I'm in.
I get you with the super, which is that fest beer. I'll get you with that, and then they made some.
I need more Mississippi Queens.
Yeah, I know. Oh, dude, the Mississippi Queen's getting better. It's even getting better.
Better?
Better.
Improved
Better.
formula?
It's an improved. I shouldn't be saying that on. I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Oops.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. But yeah, it's
If
getting.
anyone stayed till this part, hey, you get the Easter
Don't tell
egg.
Zach.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Mississippi Queen is outstanding blonde ale that we do. It will be in stores nationwide. In a couple years, it'll be statewide and distributed throughout the South in 2020. So thank you guys, appreciate it. Blitz out.
Later.